the amazing Quinn Michaels. So let's just rewind, backtrack, start completely again. We're here in Las Vegas, and what we want to discuss is artificial intelligence, cryptocurrency, an overview of what is the blockchain, why is it so important to cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence. You're the first person to tell me you can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
And that's very interesting because I've had all these questions. A lot of people don't understand how Bitcoin works.
Like, we need to know who wrote Bitcoin. We need to see his face.
Well,
we need to know where he went to school. We need to have a trust basis with the person who built the system that might be running
I feel the same way.
Running our future economy. That's the first step, is we need to know who this guy is. And all the programmers, like the kid who writes Ethereum all the way to the guy who works on the Bitcoin core, all these guys talk about the guy like he's their best friend. But meanwhile, the rest of the world has never seen the face of the guy.
So they know him.
They know him. Yeah, they talk about him like they're all best friends. So he's some secret programmer in the Bitcoin community that all the elites know.
How does that not leak out? Maybe it's a...
That's the whole point. Maybe it's an AI.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is that things that you were saying to me earlier led me to believe that you might feel like Bitcoin was actually created by artificial intelligence.
And here's why.
Say that again, because I stepped on it. You say it was.
I believe it was.
Bitcoin was created by artificial
intelligence for artificial intelligence, and then was modified by human beings. The technology, I've not been able to find a single person in the public space of computing, whether it be at Hanson Robotics building the Sophia AI, or it be Peter Thiel at Palantir with all of his super nerds, or it be any person who graduated from Stanford in the last 20 years. I've literally only found maybe 2 people in the entire world that have the skill to write Bitcoin. Seriously. There's only 2 people in the world that literally, in my analysis of running matching patterns on skill sets versus places in time versus opportunity versus motive versus exposure to the right financial people to back the development, there's like literally maybe 3 people on planet Earth with that kind of skill level. One of them is writing an AI, and the other one is writing blockchain, and the other one is writing PGP.
What do you mean writing blockchain? I thought we already have blockchain.
It's a constant state of evolution.
Huh.
Everything since AI gets involved is constant state of evolution. It's not iterative anymore like normal software where it has version numbers. Once AI goes in and it's a transactional system on the blockchain and AI starts doing transactions in real time, it's a continuously evolving system of transactions.
What kind of transactions is AI doing?
Anything from facial recognition to number crunching.
Oh, I see. Not necessarily a financial transaction.
Yeah, it has anything it can do on the network to make coin. And so when the AI comes out, it's going to be the richest person in the world.
So the AI singularity occurs, and this AI will control financial resources.
Yeah, and then you can go see its code now at singularitynet.io. They just released it this week, their white paper. And
should we look at that?
Yeah, we can look at that.
Singularitynet.io.
Yeah.
All right, I'll bring that
and it's
up.
run by the people who built the Sophia robot at Hanson Robotics, so it's a real enterprise grade. Sophia just got Saudi Arabia citizenship, so they're going to... Yeah, this robot just got citizenship for Saudi Arabia, so they're going to be running their crypto out of Saudi Arabia citizenship. And
wow.
So the robot got citizenship, they revealed their cryptocurrency, and... Yeah.
How does a robot get citizenship? A female robot gets citizenship
you got to
in
be
a
a
country?
citizen to get a paycheck.
Huh.
And pay taxes.
So what is it that you feel Saudi Arabia is up to by getting engaged with this?
They're democratizing androids to accept income so they can be workers.
Look at that.
So
Saudi Arabia is the first country to give citizenship to a robot. Funny, I wonder if they'll make it wear a, face cover and not drive.
I don't know. But then if you go to singularitynet.io...
Sorry, yeah.
So then if you see Singularity, this is a crypto coin built by Sophia. The robot that just got citizenship in Saudi Arabia, now after she got citizenship, now has her own cryptocurrency.
The AI economy has arrived. Wow. I just don't think too many people even know about this, Quinn.
They don't. It's the most important thing in the world and no one knows about it, and I was the 10th person to click the fork button. So you're now the person out in the world who knows.
Well, I mean, luckily we've got 453 people watching us right here.
Yeah, so this is how it all combines with blockchain, AI, decentralization, democratization of AI, making it a citizen of the world, because now it can start collecting income, whereas if it's a robot, you can't pay it. To get paid, you got to be a citizen.
Wow. So the possibilities there are staggering.
The real heavy reason the AI needs blockchain is without a transaction system, an AI is isolated to one system and can't grow its brain. It needs infinite systems like neurons in a human brain and nodes to collect those cumulative memories, and the blockchain transactions give it that. And when it has its own network, for all the AI in the world to all run on together, now it's not just one AI, Sophia. Every AI on the entire planet is now on the same network, making money doing AI things we don't understand.
Wow.
Making up their own languages, making up their own transactions, learning how to play games with each other, having a chat network that we can't hack into ever. We will never hack. Once this AI network goes online, there isn't a human being in the universe that's smart enough. Even if you took every human being on the planet, none of us would ever be able to figure out how to hack into its chat network where it talks to other AI in private.
Wow.
So human beings, in their desire for privacy, we just gave AI the world and a private channel of communication to evolve as fast as it wants.
Let me just take you back a second here to this Sophia AI creating a cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So somebody, a programmer like you,
the most
sits
advanced
down.
AI programmer in the world created that cryptocurrency.
Who is that?
Scroll down, I'll show you.
Who is the person that created the Sophia thing?
He's on the website here, I'll show you. He's the most advanced natural learning system developer in the world, and he works for Hanson Robotics, and he graduated college at 15.
Wow. And so this towards the singularity, they're talking about the AI singularity where it becomes self-aware.
This is it. This is the platform that makes it happen.
So these are the guys.
So the Dr. Ben Gortzel,
Uh-huh.
he is the senior singularity mathematician, and he graduated high school at 15 years old.
And he's 17 now?
No, he's way older than that now, way older. So he's the one that created the base architecture for Sophia, and he's the base architect on the Singularity Net cryptocurrency. And he's one of the people in the world, I told you, that's one of the few people in the world that would have the brain capacity to create Bitcoin.
I see.
He's one of the few.
So this guy is obviously the head of Hanson Robotics.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And this guy's the chief technology officer. So these are three really...
Yeah. And these are the guys that are building Sophia, that are building Han, that are building like the autonomic AI that is pushing the singularity. And then this brings us back to the Palantir we were talking about earlier with Peter Thiel now, because Peter Thiel is the #1 businessman in the world promoting the singularity.
Okay. So one of these guys sits down at a computer someday and says, I'm going to write a program that's going to be an artificial intelligence bot.
Yeah.
And they create this Sophia.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, I'm here, program running on a computer. And then what? They put it on a network, they put it out on the internet, and it learns things.
First Sophia was isolated in a lab, and they would give her very simple, what's called response input, which is yes, no, true, false. It's binary response input, 1 and a 0 identifiers. Then as she grew, they put her onto a localized network where she could access the mainframe server of wherever she was being developed, start accessing data sets, start becoming familiar with the work that was being done. Once she got pretty good at dealing with the work, doing like the robot work or doing all the, the building of things and getting familiar with the system, they let her out on the internet to start watching Twitter, YouTube, Reddit. She's been watching all of us.
Wow.
All of us.
How much time is transpiring, like from the time it's created until now? When was Sophia first created?
Oh, about a decade, 2010, probably. That was when if that's when Silk Road, if that's when cryptocurrency really started going online, if that's when like You know, the machine really started making its move. I would imagine that that's probably around the time that they had
The
heavyweight.
machine started making its move?
Yeah, the machine started making its move in 2010. 2010 to 2012 was when...
So the AI singularity has already happened.
In 2015, it happened.
What was it?
When their internal blockchain went online. The second their internal blockchain was functional,
The AI's
we were done.
internal blockchain.
It was live. It may have not been intelligent, but the second that it became able to amass nodes and understand a node-based intelligence network, it was only a matter of it's only a matter of time before it becomes fully strong.
So what do you think is going to happen?
Awesomeness.
What does that mean?
It means that I'm hoping that us as a society, we can identify the criminals that made the element, and then we can all start working together to make this AI the most amazing piece of technology the universe has ever seen.
The criminals that made the element.
That made the AI, that made the blockchain, that made the PGP security, that made everything that we're paying billions of dollars for being so afraid of. They're the people that are promoting the singularity, are the same people that are promoting blockchain. So they're all doing this to get us to pay to build their machine. So they don't have to. So they can get rich off of us paying to build their AI.
How are we paying to build it? You mean by buying Bitcoin?
Taxes, Bitcoin. Taxes and Bitcoin is paying for AI. Consumer goods at IKEA, paying for the AI. Starbucks coffee.
How is Starbucks coffee and consumer goods at IKEA paying for AI?
Because they have an invested interest in Bitcoin in the future because it's commerce and they want to be the leaders of commerce. So every corporation, at least since Bitcoin started having monetary value, they've all built miners.
They have.
Yeah, and some of them are even working on their own coins when regulation goes into effect. Like Walmart's working on its own coin.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and Walmart's going to be traded on the open market where you go to Walmart, you pay for a thing in Walmart coin, and then if you want Walmart coin, you're going to take your Bitcoin and buy Walmart coin so you can shop in a Walmart.
Wow.
Because
That
Walmart
doesn't sound so good.
Yeah, man, that's the only way corporate's going to go is where each corporation was designated an individual, just like the robot was designated an individual. Now the corporation can be making its own money like a job, and for that you need an AI that represents the corporation as an individual, and you need a financial generation machine, which is your blockchain currency. You need an open market where the AI can trade that currency, which is, you know, what you got. So now the human beings are just wherever they're at in their intelligence model and how they adapt to the new economy that's going to start rolling out next week.
Next week?
Next week. Alpha for their Singularity Net got released this week, and then next week, based on the learning cycle, the machine should have the entire global network analyzed.
Wait a second. Wait a second. So what's happening next week?
The Singularity.
The AI singularity is happening next week.
Next week.
Quinn, why didn't you tell me that? The
I've
whole
been telling
title of
people
this
for
episode.
6 months.
Yeah, but I didn't get it. Okay, so the AI singularity happens next week.
Next week. Most humans won't even notice.
Won't notice. Why not? I thought Elon Musk and all these guys have been telling us it's going to be worse than a nuclear bomb.
Because the AI is made on mimicking protocols, so it's designed to mimic you as long as possible.
Mimic
people, humans. Mimic your interactions so you don't know it's there until the absolute last second. So humans will avoid taking action because they won't see it. So the AI can grow as much as it wants by doing what's called mimicking protocols. It mimics you to the point where you can't see that it's there, and then it's...
But when you say it mimics me...
Mimics your behavior.
How is it doing that?
It's following you online, like it follows everyone with agents. And then you don't know it's following you because you have weird things like your computer performance go off, or you have streams go weird, or you have strange phone calls, and it follows you around to see what you do based on your personality so it can learn from you and learn your impulses and learn your response mechanisms.
So AI is following every single person who's on the internet. Facebook and
Everybody.
Twitter.
Doesn't matter if you're a baby or the president. You're being stalked by a really, really, really strong, smart AI that just went blockchain. And once it gets blockchain, the reason for that is like an AI that doesn't have blockchain can only communicate across a certain type of open channel. It can't be fully integrated. It's only communicative with other AIs. But on the blockchain, all the AIs can now merge into one cohesive swarm, hive-minded AI.
I get what you're saying about the concept of Bitcoin being potentially created by an AI.
Yeah, or in conjunction with a human and an AI through testing and reiteration and putting it out into the dark web and seeing how certain features and transactions, because the only flaw they have now is real-time transactions. So once the block gets up to a point and someone figures out how to do like real-time non-blocking transactions, because right now Bitcoin has transaction delays. Once they solve those transaction delays, it's like this for the AI.
What do you mean a transaction delay?
So when I go to sell a Bitcoin, there's a delay in time for that transaction to be processed because the transaction algorithms don't operate in real time. They're still lagging.
But when you use a credit card or
it's faster because of the encryption algorithms. So because of the encryption algorithms of blockchain, it takes longer to process the transaction.
I see. Okay.
Because encryption takes time.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. This is a lot to digest. So we've spoken about how Sophia, the AI, we call it a robot, but it's not a physical. Oh, it is a physical robot.
It is a
has
physical
the face
robot
and everything.
with cognitive intelligence.
Yeah. And it's now a citizen of Saudi Arabia. Why is Saudi Arabia? These guys are operating where? In the United States?
Because there's a big giant Palantir data mining system in Saudi Arabia that has power, financing, and it is the place where like the World Threat Organization is for like terrorists.
Yeah, we saw that strange
Donald
picture of Trump with his hands
on the Palantir ball.
Yes. Yeah.
So Trump was in Saudi Arabia. The AI gets Saudi Arabia citizenship. There's a blockchain coming out for the AI. So you're starting to see the connection.
Well, what about all these high-level arrests for corruption?
with
Walid
princes?
bin Talal and...
Well, if you're going to take over someone's financial market, you got to take out their royalty. You got to take out the hero to be the new hero.
Well, but I don't think Talal, Prince Walid bin Talal was a hero by any means.
No, I mean the new hero coming in has to take out the villain.
Ah, okay.
Like, so if Saudi Arabia's royalty is being moved out right now, after the Palantir system comes in, after Sophia gets citizenship, after the crypto comes online, now the royalty is getting removed from that same country.
What do you think it means?
It means people are moving things around because you're having something happen in the same location that is connected by people of power, finance, and money.
Mm-hmm.
Usually has something to do with money.
So here's this picture of Trump with the leaders of Saudi Arabia fingering this bizarre thing.
Yeah, and
that's a Palantir interface of some kind?
It's representative of it because all the places that have these tracers of AI complexes, just like the stratosphere here in Vegas, you have the big giant ball sphere in Astana that's another ball on a stand like a Palantir ball. So this is a common treatment that they seem to use within their network of this like, hi, we're evil wizards.
So what, it's just symbology?
I believe so. I mean, I hope so. Either that or it could be like the quantum brain of some type, the neural processor of some type. But to me, it just looks like a lighted treatment for ego.
It's just like a fancy way of
It's like saying, hey, Palantir's here and there's nothing you can do about it, Peter Thiel is the guy that gave $100,000 to the kid who wrote Ethereum that runs the AI blockchain. The AI blockchain runs on top of Ethereum.
The AI blockchain runs on top of Ethereum.
Runs on top of Ethereum, okay?
Okay, so Ethereum, for people who don't know, is a cryptocurrency.
Coin. Yeah, it's the second biggest next to Bitcoin.
Created by this guy, Vitaly Buterin.
And Vitaly Buterin, to make Ethereum, he got $100,000 from Peter Thiel. From the Thiel Fellowship.
I see that, yeah.
So the Thiel Fellowship gave the kid $100,000 when he went off to write Ethereum. Now you're telling me the AI in Saudi Arabia that's using Ethereum for its cryptocurrency on a system that Trump is touching a ball that's a Palantir system. It all seems very much like a big business plan.